Brandon Becker here in Sherwood, Indiana, at World Gym. Also, my drug trafficking center. If you need anything, put the address below, 2500 Klein Avenue. We're going to hit some legs today. Quads and hams, we've got mountain block style. My buddy Adam and I just finished the pre-contest coming out of Nationals in Miami. Didn't have a great placing, so right now we're going to work on building more thickness on the legs. Pretty much the off-season, up until about through June, it's just going to be, grinding away, working on weak points even more. Blueprints never change, so we're going to get at it. We're going to hit some squats, do some Bulgarians, hit some partials and some leg extensions, curls. I'm just going to hit it hard and heavy, and probably a total like 20 sets or so, but we're going to make it interesting. So thanks for coming, and we'll see you at the end.
This is Eric Posable with Body Morph Pros. I'm here with All-Max athlete Brandon Beckridge out here in, what is this, Cherville, Indiana?
Yeah, it's Cherville.
Okay, yeah, so we're in the middle of nowhere. I have no cell phone reception this whole time. So we're out here, it's end of December here, off-season. We're doing a little bit of leg training. So we just got done doing the 2014 Nationals. Let's talk a little bit about the experience there out in Miami.
Yeah, it was, it was humbling. They said it was the biggest show, one of the most competitive. I think that's kind of controversial based on what people say in the boards, but, almost 200, it was like almost 250 bodybuilders, and, my class of super heavies, I think we had a little over 30, which is, was a large amount compared to most. So yeah, it was good. I brought my best. It was the best that I've looked to date. It didn't show on stage, I don't think. I had some issues with my tan, especially, and oil, and just I looked green and like matte green, literally. So, but it was good. I learned a lot. It was a tough prep, but all in all, I learned a lot. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not discouraged about my placing or anything like that. It is what it is. So it's just it's eyes forward, for the North Americans in September, and or Nationals in November. I haven't quite decided yet. So, but it was good, man. It was good. It was a hard prep, and I feel like I made some good improvements.
Yeah, because we saw you at Junior Nationals, and that was about a year, say a year and a half at this point now. You were huge then. It looks like you put on a ton of meat between then and now. I mean, you look massive, obviously, sitting here because you're off season. But what was kind of the feedback from the judges outside of the tan? I know the tan was a big thing in prejudging. What was some of the other feedback, body parts we're trying to work on?
My lagging body part has always been my glutes. Excuse me. I'm really, really flat feet. I learned this a couple years ago, and that's why I've been so quad dominant. But hams are good, but I lack glute development, which in turn, basically my whole posterior chain. So middle back needs more thickness, front to back thickness. I mean, you can never have too much of that, right? More lower back development, more that my erectors and my glutes tie in together and connect with, and same thing with my hams and glutes, just everything to where it ties in together where I can really build that separation, especially my ham and glute area. The development there is lagging considerably. So otherwise, they said that my symmetry was great, my size is there, so it's just a matter of capitalizing on what I have and just continuing to improve on what I've needed to improve on.
Yeah, so we came in here, leg training, obviously some of the biggest quads I think I've seen in a long time. I think with the advent of physique, a lot of guys are maybe not training legs the way they should. I think you're bringing back big quads, so it's good to see. I had big quads back in the day. I don't think it's as big as yours, but so it's good to see that. Do you train your legs just as hard as you train the other body parts because they're this big, or do you feel like you can take some time off?
No, I train everything, with equal intensity. I've never been one to try to lay off a particular body part to let something else catch up. If anything, I'll train. If something needs to be brought up, I train that extra hard. I never ease up on anything. If anything, I'll increase the intensity. So I've always wanted big legs, man. I mean, that was been my goal for a couple of years, to be known for my legs, and I mean, I think that's kind of starting to take suit. So, but no, I mean, I train everything hard. I love to train. So that's kind of just in my blood now. So it's one of my favorite things to train. But But no, I just try to train legs and get them as big as I can. Fuck, he can't have too big of legs, right?
Well, they never said Tom Platz's legs were too big. They said his upper body was too small.
Exactly what I'm saying. You got to increase the intensity of the upper body. Don't ease up on anything. Yeah. Never. Fuck that.
So let's talk a little bit about off-season training. You're kind of in full swing now. Did you take some time off after nationals to just enjoy and then get some holiday food in?
I definitely got some holiday food in. Still getting some holiday food in. Too many cookies, man. I didn't take much time off, and I kind of, like we were talking earlier, I probably should have. But like I said, I love to train. It's hard for me to step away from the gym, and because I just love to do it. So it's, I took off maybe like 5 days, and I came back just grinding away and back to eating right and on top of the fun stuff. So I'm feeling it now, though. I've got some aches and pains and stuff like that. And like I was saying earlier, I feel like the recovery from a show, I think, is a little bit longer than what I'm used to. So yeah, I probably should have, but I'm definitely enjoying it. I took some time off. My son, my fiance, and everything. Gave them more attention. That maybe lacked the extra couple weeks before the show, and so absolutely. And they understand, thankfully. So it's been a lot of fun not being quite the robot that I've been the last 4 months.
Now, in the off season, do you track your calories and stuff, or is it just kind of like as long as you get the protein in and whatever comes with it, kind of a diet?
Yeah, I've always been accountable for my macros, and I hate using that word. I hate using that word, but I've always been that way. It's on video somewhere before that shit even came out. But yeah, I'm always accountable for my carbs, my protein, and my fats, and then being off season, especially holidays, my son's birthday and Christmas and etc. I'm not neglecting to indulge if I want. I'm not going nuts, but I'm definitely not limiting myself to whatever I want. So I'm enjoying myself, definitely, but I'm also getting my meals in.
When the kids leave cookies out for Santa, someone's got to eat them.
That's it, man. I mean, my son asked me today, he's like, "Dad, is Santa real?" Of course he's real. I just couldn't see myself not being able to have the cookies on Christmas Eve. I was like, this can't
be 16 years old leaving Santa cookies.
That's it. It's going to happen. You watch. He's like, "Dad, I get it. Okay, you like cookies."
Yeah, we'll just leave for Daddy. Don't tell Daddy Santa's not real.
That's it.
So let's talk a little bit about the off-season training. How do you, how many days a week are you hitting the weights, and how do you work the splits as far as what body parts to train?
Right now, my buddy, my training partner, and I, Adam, we're actually doing a little bit of some mountain dog style training, which I've never followed a regimen, never. I've always been instinctive. I've never had a split. I've always done hams and quads on separate days. That's about it. But this is a lot different. I've always been a volume guy. So right now we're hitting everything twice a week, pretty much in 6 days. It's basically a 3 on, 1 off, 3 on. And the first 3 days are legs, chest, and back, essentially, and it's all heavy as shit. And then the other 3 days are like what they call like pump days. So it's different, but I'm loving it. I mean, my body's responding well. I'm a lot stronger than I thought I was. So, with the exception of today was the second leg day of the week, and I think I'm still kind of recovering from the first leg day 3 or 4 days ago. So, but that's how we're doing it right now.
Now, I know John lays out a lot of the protocols as far as what exercises and when to do it. Are you following that program to a T as far as what exercises and the orders and all that?
Yeah, pretty much. Sometimes we have to improvise, if the gym's real busy or whatever, if we're training at one gym, it doesn't have the piece. But other than that, though, yeah, we're pretty much following it to a T. And it's kind of cool because it's nice kind of knowing what we're going to do and not having to sit there and debate and wonder. And so we just know when we go to it, and it kind of takes the thinking out of it, and we can just go and kill it and focus on that.
Now, being in this gym, we're in a smaller gym. You kind of stand out like a sore thumb here. What's that like? You got to feel like a little bit of a celebrity status here? Yeah,
that's kind of my area anyway. I mean, this whole area. I mean, not to sound like an ass, but I'm the biggest guy in the area, so I'm kind of used to it. But I always tell people, I'm like, I'm a big fish in a small bowl. And everybody's like, "You're the biggest guy I've ever seen." I'm like, "Trust me, I'm not shit, man. Believe me. Go to a show, and it's like I tell them they hear I didn't win nationals, and like, people are bigger than you." Like, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, so it's whatever. I mean, a lot of people.
Well, the only people bigger than you are like the old lady at the grocery store that has a son that competed that one time. That's usually who's bigger than you, right?
Always, yeah, always.
So let's talk about Allmax. I know they're huge in your corner, helping you out and everything. Let's talk a little bit about that sponsorship and some of that. Are you doing some appearances coming up here in pretty soon?
Yeah, they were, they were really understanding and supportive of, the show. So they gave me, pretty much after the Olympia, they gave the time for me to focus on my show and everything. It's difficult to prep for a show and be on the road, for 3 and 4 days at a time. But yeah, I mean, now I think I'll be at the LA Fit Expo, I'll be at the Arnold, I'll be at the New York Pro. I might be at 1 or 2 shows in between those two, but yeah, I'll be back to full grind, full travel, representing Allmax. I mean, they're an amazing company, so it's I definitely enjoy working for them and representing them.
Yeah, and like I said, I see it all the shows and shit, and sitting back there and taking up a lot of space. So, and what are you weighing now, anyways?
About 288. Yeah.
Look huge, man. You don't look like you're 288. Let's talk about the leggings. 'Cause I know it's a big. Feel like it's. We were talking about it earlier. I think back in the LeVron and Sean Ray, they wore the singlets and stuff, and I know Flex did a lot of the leggings. You didn't really see it for a while. I think Ronnie kind of brought it in the 90s. Mm-hmm. It kind of died a little bit. Now I'm starting to see a lot more guys. But you were one of the original guys around this area wearing the leggings.
Yeah.
Why do you wear them? I know there's a reason. So.
Yeah. It's definitely not for a fashion statement. I mean, obviously,
well, you look fucking hot in them. Just by the way.
I really appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, there is a reason for them. It's not because of the way they look. I mean, it's kind of fun when you got big legs or whatever, but essentially, I mean, it just keeps my joints warm. I sweat a lot, so if I'm wearing baggy sweatpants, and you know how it is, we sweat, and after a while, it's like you sweat your ass off, and then the club material gets cold. Yeah. They'll fucking give you a chill, and then it throws everything off. But I know it sounds silly, but I like the compression around my knees, like the compression on my legs. It just feels like a tighter support feeling, and so I always wear my sweatpants over them for the most part. There's one guy that said to wear my leggings like a man, so that was why I took them off for the video. Yeah. But yeah, that's it though. I like to keep my joints warm, and I notice a huge difference, when I have them on as opposed to when I don't. So.
Well, and with you, I mean, I know you squat a ton of weight. I've seen you squat 6 and 7 plates and crazy amounts of weight and things like that. Having that little bit of support, having that comfort, keeping your joints warm when you're at this weight makes a huge difference, because I don't know a lot of people are ever going to get to your weight, so they don't understand how much that's a lot of weight on the joints, and it's tough when you're working out and the knees hurt and they creak and they crack, and you're still young yet, so you're not up to my old man status yet, but someday you'll get there and you'll be all creaky in the gym. But I don't want to keep it too much longer. I know it's Sunday. I know you got better things to do, but let's get some shout outs. I know you want to thank some people for helping you out.
Yeah, definitely. First and foremost, Allmax, my sponsor. We've been together now, 3 years or 4 years or something. I still got a couple more years left on contract with them. So I mean, they've been, tremendous support, a pivotal role in my progress these last few years. My fiance, she's been in my corner and extremely understanding, helping me with my son, and understanding the time that commits and everything in between with contest prep. My coach Matt Jensen, who helped me prep for the nationals. Even though the placing wasn't that great, I feel like he helped me attain my best. And phenomenal coach. I can't say a bad thing about him. Really has an eye for detail and very meticulous and very caring. Genuinely about your health and well-being, and wants to make sure that you're comfortable with doing everything that needs to happen to win. And my little boy Jax, my monster, he's makes sure that I'm the biggest guy in the gym every day. He always roots me on. So, but and my training partner Adam, definitely, we train together, and he kept me pushing and stuff. The last couple weeks when I was on fucking E and just no carbs for 4 weeks, literally 0 carbs. And he definitely helped me grind it out. So, those people play a huge role in everything that's happened.
It's good to have the support, especially with the training partner. I know I always had the hardest time the last few weeks, and it's always nice to know that guy's going to be there. And it's going to push you.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I could depend on him for anything. He's awesome.
Now, does your fiance compete?
Yeah, she competed a couple times years ago. Just did figure. I mean, she's not like in the industry or anything like that, but she loves to train.
But she gets it.
She gets it, exactly. Yeah, absolutely. She gets it. And she's a meathead like me. She loves to work out, but she hates the competing part. She's like, whatever. So, yeah, it's a good, healthy relationship. It's not too much, having two competitors in the house.
It's tough, man. It's tough when you got two meatheads in the, vying for the same chicken breast.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I cook her food, so I specify and let her know what container is hers or which one's mine.
Exactly. Well, hey, man, we'll let you get out of here. I know you got to get some nutrition in and eat and everything, but we appreciate you letting us come out and film you today. Obviously, one of the top super heavyweights, and we look forward to seeing you at North Americans. Hopefully, you won't need to do nationals after North Americans, but we'll kind of see how it goes. Until then, this has been Eric Posable with Body Morph Pros, here with big super heavy Brandon Beckridge, and we'll catch you guys back at the gym. Thanks a lot, buddy. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, man.